G'day headbangers and welcome to Doses of Metalworks. Welcome back my fellow metalheads. It's been a while. It's been about a month since you last heard from me. First week I was crook as. Second week I had a wrestling show. And third week, last weekend, I was meant to have a wrestling show, but then came down with a cold, so that knocked me out. So yeah, I'm still recovering, if you can't tell by my voice. But anyway, it's good to be back, doing another countdown. And this year we are going to 1987. Back to the 80s again. Best decade ever. Anyway, get started straight away. Honourable mention. Unfortunately, I haven't really listened to this album much at all for me to actually sit down and go, okay, let's have this track here, that track there. But that is The Legacy by Testament. No, as I said, I've got to listen to it a few more times to pick any tracks, but I'll put that in there anyway. The other honourable mention is Bad Animals by the band Heart. Love the band Heart. Saw them live in concert many years ago because I was supporting Def Leppard here in Canberra, so that was pretty sweet. So obviously the track number 2 for me for them was Who Will You Run To? And then number 1 is my favourite all-time Heart song. Nothing will ever beat this one. Probably the most popular song, and that's Alone. So that's pretty sweet. Right, so now it's the actual countdown. So at number 10, we have Triumph and Agony by Warlock. Now, never could really get into Warlock. Listened to the album once or twice. The only real standout track for me was All We Are. And it was the final album with Doro on lead vocals before she went solo. And she did just as well solo as she did with Warlock. So, yeah, that's that one. Okay, number 9, we have Girls, Girls, Girls by Motley Crue. Now, as I said, with Motley Crue, to me, few and far between with them. I like a couple of songs from all their albums. There's only one real standout album with me for them. But so you got Jailhouse Rock, which is the Elvis cover, coming in at number 3. Number 2, title track, Girls, Girls, Girls. And actually probably one of my favourite songs from them is Wild Side. But yeah, that's number 9. Okay, number 8, we have Speed Metal Symphony by Cacophony. Now, I think this was their first album from these guys. Yeah, debut album. And of course, as you don't know, Cacophony featured Marty Friedman and Jason Becker as the guitarist from that album. Now, obviously Marty ended up being with Megadeth after that, before he left them. Jason Becker ended up getting, I think it's MS, and is now pretty much confined to a wheelchair, but apparently he still writes music, which is pretty freaking awesome to do. But anyway, track 3 for me for them was Savage. Then number 2 was the Ninja. And then their title track, Speed Metal Symphony. Okay, number 7, Danger Attractions by Lion. Now, not many people know about Lion. I got into them through the Wraith soundtrack. They've only ever had the 2 albums. This was one of them. It was their debut album. So track number 3 for them was Power Love. Number 2, Fatal Attraction. And the song that got me into them, which was featured on the Wraith soundtrack, Never Surrender. Okay, number 6, we have Dream Evil by the legend himself, Dio. The honourable mention for that one is Overlove. And then track number 3 is Dream Evil. Number 2 is Sunset Superman. And number 1 is All the Fools Sailed Away. Alright, number 5, we have, depends who you talk to, you might call it 1987 or you call it Whitesnake. But we're talking about Whitesnake by Whitesnake. Like I said, a lot of people call it 1987, because I don't know. Anyway, top 3 tracks for this, but obviously the big 3 singles they released, Is This Love, Still of the Night, and Here I Go Again 87. No. Number 4, Appetite for Destruction by Guns N' Roses, the Gunners. Right, well, that whole album is pretty sweet, but the main honourable mentions here, Sweet Child of Mine and Anything Goes. My three favourite tracks though are Night Train, Welcome to the Jungle, and of course Paradise City. Okay, sweet. Now number three. Number two, oof, hard choice for me to make. Real struggle for me for that one. But I ended up going with Abigail by King Diamond. Now this, I think, if I remember, was King Diamond's second album after he went solo, after he left Merciful Fate. Now Abigail is fantastic cover. The whole story is great. I've always said to Rex and another couple of friends that if I had the money, I'll get King Diamond himself and make a movie out of this, because it's an absolute amazing album. And people who don't know, pretty much all King Diamond's albums are all horror based stories, really, so fantastic. But this is also the album that got me into King Diamond. So yeah, but the three favourite tracks for me is Abigail, number two The Family Ghost, and number one A Mansion in Darkness. But like I said, the whole album is fantastic. But yeah, that's number three, Abigail by King Diamond. Okay, number two, one of my favourite albums from these guys, Fighting the World by Manowar. One of the first album covers featuring Ken Kelly as the artist. And he ended up doing a lot of covers for them after that. Passed away many years ago, unfortunately, but he was a great artist. But my three favourite tracks from that is Holy War, Black Wind, Fire and Steel, and Fighting the World. But like again, whole album is fantastic. It's not the album that got me into Manowar, but it's definitely one of my faves. Now here we go, the big one. Number one, Hysteria by Def Leppard. Well, what can you say about this album? It took them 4 years to make. I think it was about 4 years. Look, the whole album is an absolute banger. First album featuring Rick Allen after he lost his arm in an automobile accident. So it was a one-armed drummer at this point, and he's still got it. You know, it's amazing that he can play as well as he does with just one arm, but technology helped as well. But my top three for that one would probably have to be Love and Affection, Rocket, and Armageddon It. And yeah, I think that's most people's favourite Def Leppard album. You know, fantastic band. See them twice in concert. Amazing live. Now, that's my countdown for 87. Hope you enjoyed it. Now, one last thing. Within the past 48 hours, I have seen this brand new collaboration song by Baby Metal and Electric Callboy called Ratata. Now, what can I say, but this is one of the best songs I have ever heard. Now, Rex isn't a fan of Electric Callboy or Baby Metal, but hey, he likes the Joker, so what are you going to do? Rex is just shaking his head. So yeah, if you get a chance, listen to it, because you know within a day they've received over 1.2 million viewers. So it's got to be damn good. And I've seen a lot of reaction videos, and it's amazing because we both know Electric Callboy and Baby Metal are both very different in the world of metal, but I still like them both equally. And yeah, this song was absolutely amazing. So you get a chance, jump on the Spotify or YouTube or wherever, Ratata, have a listen. And on that note, until next time, my fellow metalheads, mosh on.